CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 6 of the Great Ace Attorney Adventures. Last time, we got the British foreign exchange student. Okay, let me check her name. Jaziel Brett. I'm horrible when it comes to remembering these sort of names from these games because, like I said, I haven't really had much experience playing the Great Ace Attorney, so the names aren't exactly at the top of my mind, unlike the characters from the other games. So anyways, we got her to the stand, and we were basically trying to get answers, and now we're talking about how a print is looking odd. Well, obviously, it's the cheers! The cheers?! Miss Brett told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. Yeah, we're basically going over... Basically, Brett said that, oh, hey, we were toasting over water, but yet there were no water glasses on the table. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Oh! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Aren't we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae?
I don't even know anymore, I'm sorry.
What possible difference does the presence of absence of a glass make on this case?
Objection!
Minutiae, you say? Okay, I think I could possibly change the voice.
Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from this table to conceal this lady's presence?
Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try telling me that you can clink with only 1? Clap with 1 hand. You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. All your fault now, lady. Inspector, what did the lady say? Actually, no, I'm gonna keep with the Lang voice. It would seem that Miss Brett, who took the... Donna CzarThwomp, I am not Samugi. Just because I wear the glasses does not mean you can mistake me for Samugi. It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? It was also terrifying. Everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all, she's saying. Good gracious!
Sorry.
I don't even know. I don't even have established voices.
There! As I shared the court before, this is of no consequence at all!
Oh, please!
We must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's lunching companion before her very eyes! Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray?
That's absurd!
Oh, really? Your descendant ate a freaking necklace so that way his murderous girlfriend could get out of prison! Okay? You have no room to criticize me! You runt! My descendants at least have some trace of dignity! So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful queen of mischief?
What? No! This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. And now we're gonna get some ouchie sucking up. We're gonna see he's groveling. Yeah, here it comes.
So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she could remove the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. This student has been trying to confuse the court with the logical reasoning, but in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. I swear. Just, it's my eyes at times. It's not that I can't see the text. It's that basically I have this weird condition where I see doubles when I'm at a certain distance away from objects. Basically, I have one eye that's nearsighted and one eye that's farsighted. So basically, when I'm a certain distance away from things, they tend to clash. And for example, I'm seeing doubles right now. I'm seeing doubles on the offered and the satisfactory. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Okay, that's better when I actually close one eye. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away from her in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance to there, I'm going to do nothing in particular, just see what they say. Well, I'm not really sure there is a deeper significance here at all. You do get it, don't you? If you can't find a reason why this glass matters, you'll almost certainly be found guilty. Ugh, I knew you were going to say that. And I presume you got this too? In fact, it's the fact that she took the glass away in her handbag. That's the deeper significance here. If I'd worked that out, I would have given it as my answer in the first place. Think about it. The lady was carrying a handbag. It had almost anything inside of it. Ah. So, it's time to reconsider why CzarThwomp forgot to turn on the timer. So it's time to reconsider your answer, Ryuunosuke. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation. Yes, we already read that. Okay. Yes. I know. I'll go with the right one this time. The handbag. Wait! The lady put the glass in her handbag, you say?
Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items.
Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Barrett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too.
What do you insinuate, you vile blackguard?
It's really simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce that there must have been another firearm at the scene. Sorry, my throat's a little scratchy. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting!
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Jeziel's Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Order!
What's the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time?
I was following the honor system, Esther Ouchie. I was following it, Ouchie-san. It was quite obvious when she said, it's quite obvious really, I said, do you have a gun in that handbag? And she said, no, I do not have a gun in my handbag. And I said, okay, have a nice day. And then I went off and I enjoyed a scone from the kitchen.
That's your bungling incompetence! Now she has to endure these unfortunate accusations! My dreams of having a street named after me in Whitehall, England have been dashed!
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Ahem, ahem. Ahem, ahem. Ahem, ahem. Thank you they're not saying cough, because otherwise I would be coughing right now. But that would actually be a bit of a relief on my throat. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. You cut my salary, I cut you. Because God help me, I am not going to have my salary cut by the likes of you. I'm not going to freaking get my salary cut by a guy wearing yellow. Nothing but yellow. Just like a big lemon. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. Evidence that is in no way forged. This photographic print that is in no way altered or forged to fit my agendas. I'm not suspicious in any way, thanks to my Christoph grin. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag.
Well, I never! You can see right through to what's inside!
That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. God knows why.
So the contents are clearly visible.
Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. Sorry. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ah! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruto-san. He get force pushed, just force pushed back. Apparently detectives have lawyer powers in 20th century Japan.
Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once.
Certainly, Your Excellency. The photograph of the handbag has been entered into the court record.
I think you've had enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel.
Yes, I love how just that sprite, it's passed on from generation to generation. Sprites are hereditary.
The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted to the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, and there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryuunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue. What? You mean this is it?
I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat while the strong eat.
This is the only universe in which a pain is considered strong. How times change.
You were wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice.
That sounds like Apollo's ultimate form. That sounds like what you would call Apollo's instinct form.
A fact to get you on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. I'm being defeated by freaking Winston Payne's ancestor. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about the last photograph the detective produced that we can contest, which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue.
Very well, I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we'll be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little.
Ryuunosuke Naruto, Naruto, having considered all the evidence being placed before me.
Oh, now we're getting the serious table slam. Wait, Your Excellency! Ryuunosuke! I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
This amateurishness is getting tedious! When His Excellency deems the trial is over, he gives his ruling! That is the most basic protocol in the courtroom!
Yes.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print you just submitted appears to have no further significance, there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means that if there was a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection.
This is Blaise straw clutching! Just look at this photographic print! All it shows is the handbag the gentleman was carrying on the day of the question. There can't be no problem with this evidence.
You'd better know what you're doing, Ryuunosuke.
I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Ha! My thoughts exactly! Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it.
Very well, I will grant the defense one more opportunity.
What?
But it be warned that if I am unsatisfied with your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect and I will beat your ass with my gavel.
Just look at that gavel sprite. It looks like the judge is some street tough who's gonna beat the crap out of Ryuunosuke in a dark alley later. Just Ryuunosuke is walking home alone at night and here's that sound, just that gavel hitting a palm. And then just the judge comes and beats his ass.
Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Excellency.
So, take another look at this photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify the court where in the print we see the significant detail to which you alluded.
Right here, I believe.
Yes.
Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist.
That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection.
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say? On the victim's wrist?
What's it with Ace Attorney games and burn marks? I swear, really, just Jill Crane and her burn mark on her hand. Then we have it where we have Blaise and his burn mark on his chin. Then we have this. Really, what's it with burn marks?
Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right.
Go on, Inspector.
The police coroner also identified it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't make note of it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Ouchi points out, unless a firm connection to this case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn.
I got the hiccups now. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the dean and other university staff. She's very important. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear queen. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyways.
What's your thinking on this, Ryuunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am. If we could just link the burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise this shutting door back open again.
Just give up, Council! You can't possibly hope to do that!
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture.
But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to this case, then would you allow it?
I would, yes.
To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn, but as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was that the color was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means.
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial.
Okay, I'm just searching, I'm searching. Okay. Sorry, just searching around, Okay, like I said, I'm just searching around. Okay, that doesn't help. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to find something. Okay.
Yes!
I'm going with instinct. The victim burns clearly this piece of evidence.
Objection!
Okay, we're getting a fail.
Explain to the court in 5 words or less what the nature of this connection is!
Well, it's obviously,
Thank you! Five highly illuminating words!
What?
As I suspected, the rookie's doing his bluffing. Goodbye! Again!
Ah! You've been burned there yourself, Ryuunosuke. Sorry! I do feel like I've seen that shape of that burn somewhere before, though. Look through the court record again. Carefully this time. Yes, I will. I had to find something between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. Yes, I'll skip through that. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to think. No, that's not it. That can't possibly be it. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of odd that they let you do that. Okay. It can't possibly be the university collar pin. It can't be this. It can't be the photograph of the victim. My guess, report card. Okay. Okay. What am I doing wrong? Okay. Yeah. If push comes to shove, I will use autoplay. Okay. Yes, the bull. Yeah, it can't be there. Ah! Yeah, right here.
Yes!
The plate. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry, it blended in with the plate.
What's this, Council? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, Rookie! What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor queen any further would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer, if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come down with that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy! If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. Why is it in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
Right here.
Yes!
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate?
Oh!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can clearly see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would have guessed it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival.
Ah.
This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ah!
Ryuunosuke, you genius. You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered his burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that's the case,
I swear this is the longest I've ever voiced Winston Payne and done the Winston Payne voice in an Ace Attorney game.
we can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosanaga?
I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But...
I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, although it's a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like this would have taken around 3 seconds.
It's inconceivable that the victim would have let out a scream of pain then.
I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I have not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that. And yet Inspector Hosanaga never heard the professor scream, not on that day or any before. That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Post-mortem? Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day,
That would be beyond careless, I think. Counsel?
then the rest of the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antique dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Huh? Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Ryuunosuke, do you think... Now things are getting real. Can it be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe... We've been led into a terrible trap. The professor wasn't alive at the restaurant. The professor's been dead for the past 3 years. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was asleep. Yes, the professor, with his tendency to nod off, was asleep when his hand fell onto the piping hot plate and didn't even notice the burn happening. You didn't even know the professor, and yet here you are labeling him as a dim-witted dozer. How about I hold your wrist on a hot plate and see if you can sleep through it? Perhaps the scream you let out will wake you up a bit. Well, it's nice that there's this frankness developing between us, partner. Don't call me partner after coming out with nonsense like that. This is a critical moment. It may very well be our only chance to turn things in our favor. So come on, Ryuunosuke, you can do it. Or rather, you have to do it. You're the only one who can. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this. Yes. Yes, he was basically already dead. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already?
Dead?
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead.
That's madness!
Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right! That's absolutely right, Your Excellency! This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts!
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered the burn at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from the witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead where the gunshot was heard, it is highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it.
Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency, my queen needs to eat!
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Oh, now it's real. What was that smile? We'll answer that next time. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. With that, I'll see you next time. Bye.